which we conceive both may now be really possible, and the one become impossible only at the very moment when the other excludes it by becoming real itself. Indeterminism thus denies the world to be one unbending unit of fact. It says there is a certain ultimate pluralism in it, and so saying it corroborates our ordinary unsophisticated view of things. To that view, actualities seem to float in a wider sea of possibilities from out of which they are chosen, and somewhere, indeterminism says, such possibilities exist and form a part of truth. Determinism, on the contrary, says they exist nowhere, and that necessity on the one hand and impossibility on the other are the sole categories of the real. Possibilities that fail to get realized are for determinism pure illusions. They never were possibilities at all. There is nothing inchoate, it says, about this universe of ours, all that was or is or shall be actual in it having been from eternity virtually there. The cloud of alternatives our minds escort this mass of actuality withal is a cloud of sheer deceptions, to which impossibilities is the only name that rightfully belongs. The issue, it will seem, is a perfectly sharp one, which no eulogistic terminology can smear over or wipe out. The truth must lie with one side or the other, and its lying to that view actuality. The cloud of alternatives our minds escort this massive actuality withal is a cloud of sheer deceptions, to which impossibilities is the only name that rightfully belongs. The issue, it will be seen, is a perfectly sharp one, which no eulogistic terminology can smear over or wipe out. The truth must lie with one side or the other, and its lying with one side makes the other side false. The question relates solely to the existence of possibilities in the strict sense of the term as things that may but need not be. Both sides admit that a volition, or for instance, has occurred. The indeterminists say another volition might have occurred in its place. The determinists swear that nothing could possibly have occurred in its place. Now can science be called in to tell us which of these two point-blank contradictions of each other is right? Science professes to draw no conclusions but such as are based on matters of fact. Things have actually happened, but how can any amount of assurance that something actually happened give us the least grain? The cloud of alternative. The least grain of information as to whether another thing might or might not have happened in its place. Only facts can be proved by other facts. With things that are possibilities and not facts, facts have no concern. If we have no other evidence than the evidence of existing facts, the possibility question must remain a mystery never to be cleared up. And the truth is that facts practically have hardly anything to do with making us either determinists or indeterminists. Sure enough, we make a flourish of quoting facts this way or that, and if we are determinists, we talk about the infallibility with which we can predict one another's conduct, while if we are indeterminists, we lay great stress on the fact that it is just because we cannot foretell one another's conduct, either in war or statecraft, or in any of the great and small intrigues and businesses of men, that life is so intensively anxious and hazardous a game. But who does not see the wretched insufficiency of this so-called objective testimony on both sides? The least grain of information. What fills up the gaps in our minds is something not objective, not external. What divides us into possibility men and anti-possibility men is different faiths or postulates of rationality. To this man, the world seems more rational with possibilities in it. To that man, more rational with possibilities excluded. And talk as we will about having to yield to evidence, what makes us monists and pluralists, determinists or indeterminists, is at bottom always some sentiment like this. The stronghold of the deterministic sentiment is the antipathy to the idea of chance. As soon as we begin to talk in determinism to our friends, we find a number of them shaking their heads. This notion of alternative possibility, they say, this admission that any one of several things may come to pass is, after all, only a roundabout name for chance, and chance is something the notion of which no sane mind can for an instant tolerate in the world. What is it, they ask, but barefaced crazy unreason, the negation of intelligibility and law? What fills up the gaps in our minds